It's the Channel Mom Show with Jenny Dean Schmidt. We're here for you.
Dreams, that's where I have to go.
Brought to you by Pediatric Dental Group of Colorado, creating positive and rewarding dental visits for kids of all ages since 1977.
Yeah, I love ABBA. I say that every time, but I do. You can tell how old I am.
I saw the musical.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Shelley, I'm envious. Welcome back to the Channel Mom Show right here on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1510, FM 93.7. I'm your host, Misty. We want to get back to her story. Misty, you're still with us?
I am.
Yeah, thank you for hanging on. And please don't feel bad. I don't want you to hang up today because I've been there. I'm a woman. I cry. I don't want you to feel bad and think, why did I cry? Look, sweetie, it helps us to understand exactly how you're hurting, and I can guarantee you there are thousands of wives and maybe people that are significant others, not married, who completely identify with where you're at. Because it is a situation, not all men, but that men have a hard time expressing love in the way that they think their woman is demanding that they express it. And then they retreat, and then she feels more unloved. And then the man does feel criticized when the woman says, I just need your love. He's saying, well, then you don't think I'm loving you well. I'm not a good husband. Right. And so Dr. Egerich has hit on something. Is there something you wanted to say based on his advice to you in the last segment, in a way, a tactic or something that you'd like to know about how to approach?
Well, I know that one of the things that my husband will say is that he'll say to me often, I don't love you the way you want me to love you. And the thing is he doesn't show it. So he, in his mind, he'll tell me that I think about these things, but he doesn't actually show them, if that makes sense. And so I try to tell him, well, if you think, I guess being the doctor, but if you think that, I just want you to show me that. I can't see what he's thinking. So I can't see that he's thinking that he loves me or that, he's got these feelings for me because he's just thinking them. He's not making those known. And so I'm supposed to just satisfy myself with knowing that he thinks about it.
Do you get the feeling he resents you asking him to tell you those things?
Yes. And we're extreme opposites. I'm the over communicator and he is the extreme under communicator. So I talk too much for his liking. And so I've tried to back off with that, not ask too many questions, not push, not press. But I just want to be a good wife to him and respect him. But I just feel like I don't have anything left in me. And I just want to keep trying because, we're here. We have 2 beautiful daughters together. I just want to be the best wife that I can be and not come across to him as being a disrespectful wife who doesn't, listen to his concerns or his needs. But I just feel really bad. I just feel really insignificant. And I know that recently, we've had that conversation and I just don't want to be the nagging. I don't want to nag. I don't want him to feel like I'm nagging him because I cry. I cry with every conversation because I'm so overwhelmed with the way that I feel. I'm guessing that my crying probably comes off as disrespectful and I just want to be the best wife that I can be. But also I want to know is that even if I'm respectful, is it possible that he just would never come around and be able to show love? Well,
and Doctor, I want you to address that. And Shelley has a question that relates to that about taking first steps. Shelley, what did you say in relation to what Misty's been asking?
So how do you break it? What is the first step? Is it we need to have a meeting tonight, or is it a letter? What is it to just stop this going round and round?
Yeah, and I think the beautiful thing about women is you empathize with each other and you can identify with these feelings. And this is the way God has wired you as nurturers, as carers. This empathy and the burden that you feel in this, and all the women understand this. And so it's baffling as to why a man then doesn't understand just this cry of the heart. And why is it that he can't, move toward her to bring some kind of healing and some kind of touch that just makes her feel better, and she'll just feel wonderful if he were to do that. But instead, he tends to pull back. There's a negativity. He doesn't seem to understand what she's saying. Then she cries or she gets upset. One of the things that we have to then step back and say, okay, what can we do in a situation like this?
Yeah.
What is it that, and that isn't unfair to the woman? Part of it comes down to an issue of what we call friendliness, that men are not that complex, but over a period of time, they begin to feel that they are not good enough, that they are being disapproved of because she is obviously a good-willed woman. She's a great mother. She's a great, loving individual. And now she's crying, and she's crying again, and she's crying again, and she's saying, I have a love tank that's empty. And he, frankly, doesn't know what to do. He doesn't understand what to do. And so the safe course is to pull back and to simply say nothing, which then this stonewalling and withdrawal, which is what 85% of the men do. The University of Washington said 85% of those who stonewall are men. Now, why do men do that? Because they're trying to be unloving? No, because he's afraid. He's insecure. He doesn't know what to do.
It's a vulnerability thing, yeah.
Yeah, so he takes the safe course, which the researchers found feels like an act of hostility to a woman. An act of hostility is how they communicated it. She could not imagine pulling back over what she perceives to be a minor criticism. Why would he do this? She, for the life of her, could not imagine doing this if the roles were reversed.
In Misty's case, though, so she said to him, I just need you to tell me, not just think it, I just need you to tell me. And that hasn't worked. So is there something else you would recommend to her?
Usually it's communicated in a way that feels, and this is what the University of Washington found, women feel more comfortable in venting critically and with complaint. Criticism and complaint. Criticism and complaint. Criticism and complaint. This is the way in which the University of Washington and political correctness culture said this is what women are doing. They're criticizing and complaining, which over a period of time, men hear ongoing criticism as contempt for who they are as a human being. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't hear the deeper cry. He again thinks this is a situation that she's using to send a message of disapproval. And so he only knows to hunker down. So now the question on the table is, how do you get off of this? We talk about face-to-face versus shoulder-to-shoulder. Women need face-to-face talk time. Sarah, my wife, needs face-to-face time with me, talking about her feelings, giving the report to build rapport. These are the ways that God has designed women. But men don't always have that need. Men have a need for shoulder-to-shoulder friendship without talking. Shoulder-to-shoulder friendship without talking. And we've done this enough now that I want Misty to be confident of what I'm saying. Instead of trying to get your husband to understand your feelings, men are much simpler. What I want you to do is kind of divide that time. Instead of seeing this as an opportunity to send him a message, I need to talk about what I'm feeling. You need to understand my heart. As fair as that is to you and as legitimate as that is, I want you to pull back from that and simply sit next to him shoulder to shoulder while he's doing some activity and be friendly. There are 3 things I say to women. Be friendly, be friendly, be friendly. Mm-hmm. Over the next 6 weeks. Now, why is that? Is that fair to you? Are you being heard? No. But it softens his spirit. Men respond to people they feel are their friends. They will open up with friends. They'll try to understand friends. But when they feel that you don't like who they are and that you're sending a message that they're unacceptable, they don't feel that's friendly and it's not safe. So the key here is to come across in the way you did during courtship and many other times where you said, I like you. You're my friend. You're a good-willed man. You would die for me. I like you. I want to just hang out with you. Not for the purpose of talking, but for the purpose of filling his respect tank. And one of the things we've discovered is that men are very simple. If you just hang out with them, just be with them, their respect tank gets filled, and then guess what happens? The energizing cycle says, his love motivates her respect. Her respect motivates his love. It's counterintuitive to a woman. It's countercultural to a woman. Mm-hmm. But when you're friendly, for instance, in this case, doing shoulder-to-shoulder things, he softens. And he will act on these things much more than you think that he's capable of doing. What's driving this in many cases is fear. He's afraid of doing it wrong, and so it's safer not to do anything. But when you begin to be friendly again, and he feels that you're friendly, watch what happens. It is a miracle. Okay. I've had women just absolutely blown away by the power of simply being friendly again. Because what happens, women develop their list of 10 negatives. And they'll write me with these things. And they're not trying to put their husband down. This is what they feel. But they gravitate toward all the negatives. And after a while, she convinces herself that's basically the nature of the relationship. And then he begins to feel that's how she sees. And he begins to despair. But he just goes quiet. He doesn't say, we need to talk about this. Let's sit down and talk about our feelings. No, he'll avoid it like the plague. So how do you break through that?
Misty, does he watch sports? Is there something that you can sit next to him? Can you just go to the hardware store with him? Can you picture right now a place that you can do this with him?
He plays video games, which I despise, and that's.
Sure.
But I mean, I don't mind. I mean, that's what it takes. I really wouldn't care. I mean, just watching him, I really don't care. Maybe even going for a drive. I'm seriously like so committed to
I know.
trying to get this turned around. So that is, when he said that, I was like, that's perfect. I can totally do that.
You can do that. And I know your love tank feels empty, but as you know, it sounds to me like you've got faith in God. So that you can pray for him to fill you up, to give you strength, because obviously you take your marriage very seriously. And so I'm not going to go, he's the doctor, I'm not. It just occurs to me, because I'm married, that it would be great for you to do one of these things and say, hey, would you mind if you taught me how to play this video game, or whatever it is, and you just had some pure shoulder-to-shoulder fun. I want you to be able to hang up this phone and know that God can give you the strength to, even with an empty love tank, to do exactly what Dr. Eggers is saying, and sit next to him and learn to play a video game in the next 6 weeks so that you can be next to him. And
I was going to add that we have to see if your husband is a good-willed man, then let's assume that he's far more afraid of you than you think, and that the video game is not his way of trying to stay away from you. It's his way of, well, and in fact it is. It's his way of filling in the time because he's afraid of maybe what you're going to want to talk to him about. And so it's not that he is disinterested in you. He's afraid of you. I say sometimes to women, but my husband's 6'8", he's 280 pounds, and he should know that I didn't mean it. This is what I can always say this. He should know that I didn't mean it. Whenever she's verbalizing and venting, he should know that I didn't mean it. No, there's a little boy. There's a little boy who is scared to death of contempt. And if he interprets the messages that are basically meaning, I don't like who you are as a human being, you're unacceptable, then he will run. Every man runs from that. I don't care who he is. If he's a martial arts man, he will be in the octagon, but he's going to run from contempt. We do not get energized about it. So instead of seeing your husband as not loving you, see him as a young man inside who is afraid, and he has a need from you in the same way you have a need for him. And friendship is going to bring him back out. It doesn't mean playing the video game with him. It means just being with him shoulder to shoulder while he's doing it, and just sit there quietly and watch what happens over the next 6 weeks.
And also, men don't like to be told they're failing, and I've witnessed that in my own life. They don't want to be told, hey, you're failing at this marriage thing. It emasculates them. And so we all have issues.
Well, how does a woman feel? You're failing as a mother.
Yeah.
You're failing as a mother. You're failing as a mother. I mean, we have to understand that we have vulnerabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. We all do. And Dr. Eggers, we're coming to the close of the show. Misty, I'm just going to give you this Respectfully Yours study. Doctor, can you tell us in 30 seconds what she's getting in this new Respectfully Yours study? And we'll give it to Misty.
Sarah, my wife, Joy, and my female staff, we put this together for women. It is a study designed for women because women say, how do you do this respect thing? And we continue to serve women in this regard because it's counterintuitive, it's not natural, and yet there is power here that's incredible. And we are trying to help women be women of influence and power. In this study, we are very excited about, and the response we've had to this has been phenomenal.
Yeah, Respectfully Yours. It's beautifully packaged. I'm showing it to the video camera here. Misty, you're the lucky winner of Respectfully Yours, so we'll send that to you. Please don't hang up and give your address or contact information to Anthony for me, please, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
God bless you, Misty. Thank you for sharing your story today. All right, take care. And Dr. Eggers, I'm going to close with you. Thank you so much. I hope to see you on February 8th and 9th at West Bowles Community Church. I'm so glad you're coming to Littleton. Shelley is excited, too.
Oh, you both can come as our guests if you want to come. Bring your hubbies. We'd love to meet them.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Eggers. We appreciate you and your wife, Sarah, and God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jenny.